Hi, I'm Dr. Arif Javed, coming up with another video of CSS essay question answer series. And today I'm going to deal with the critical thinking skills related to CSS essay. This series, as you know, is based on the questions asked by various aspirants about the different aspects of CSS essay writing. I thought of giving a full episode, full video to critical thinking skills because it's deals with the total objective reality of CSS essay. And before we go into the smaller details of structure and content and language and all these things, I thought it would be better to first understand um, this intellectual framework within which the CSS essay operates. So, starting my details of the topic. So as you can see that it's the title of today's lecture, and it's the CSS essay question answer series. Now, first of all, the most important aspect about today's video is that um, we are thinking about thinking. We are, it's not something other than thinking that we are talking about. We're thinking about thinking. We are dealing with the mind, and the mind here is thinking about itself. After all, what is critical thinking? So this must be clear to you right in the beginning of this video, this discussion, that the we're not going to deal with something outside the mind. All the time I will be talking about the processes of thinking, the not the psychology of thinking, not the modalities of thinking, but how critical thinking ultimately operates. First of all, of course, we need to understand what is critical thinking. Um, it is the intellectually disciplined process of actively and skillfully. So one thing we must understand in the beginning, that the intellectually disciplined process, we can't say that this is just a wayward thinking or just a wild sort of thinking that you could do. It is disciplined process of actively and skillfully. First of all, conceptualizing. When we talk about critical thinking, we must first understand that we conceptualize something. We develop the concept of various objects, ideas, issues, problems in our minds. And then there are certain processes which need to be applied to those problems. We will also be engaging into a lot of analysis and then synthesizing. So critical thinking actually, इसके अंदर जो प्रोसेसेस इन्वॉल्व हैं वो सिर्फ और सिर्फ ये काफी नहीं कि हम सोच रहे हैं. नो, दैट इज जस्ट थिंकिंग, वो हर कोई कर रहा है. लेकिन अगर हम इसको कह रहे हैं कि ये इंटेलेक्चुअली डिसिप्लिन प्रोसेस है, तो फिर इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि हम बाकायदा इसके अंदर हमारा माइंड जो है वो उसको इस काबिल होना चाहिए, इसको हमें ट्रेन करना चाहिए कि किसी भी टॉपिक को, किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को ये कॉन्सेप्चुअलाइज कर सके, ये अलग से उसकी एक तस्वीर बना सके अपने माइंड में, और फिर उसके ऊपर अप्लाई कर सके सर्टेन क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग skills, models and processes. माइंड को इस काबिल बनाना कि वो एनालाइज कर सके और फिर ये कि वो सिंथेसाइज कर सके. सिंथेसाइज क्या? मुख्तलिफ इन्फ्लुएंसेस, मुख्तलिफ आइडियाज, साइड्स ऑफ द टॉपिक, उन सबको सिंथेसाइज करके और फिर इंफॉर्मेशन को इवेल्युएट कर सके. अब ये वो चीजें हैं जो हमारे यहाँ बहुत ज्यादा मिसिंग है. हमारे यहाँ इंफॉर्मेशन जब रिसीव की जाती है तो हम समझते हैं कि ये फाइनल है, और किसी भी इंफॉर्मेशन को अपनी फाइनलिटी के साथ रिसीव किया जाता है, जबकि इंफॉर्मेशन को जरूरत है उसको इवैल्यूएट करने की, जरूरत है उसको एनालाइज करने की, सो ये एक बेसिक डेफिनेशन आएगी कि क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग बेसिकली है क्या। अब जो इंफॉर्मेशन जिसकी हम बात कर रहे हैं, ये इंफॉर्मेशन या तो इट मे बी गैदर्ड फ्रॉम और इट मे बी जनरेटेड बाय नंबर वन ऑब्जर्वेशन। आपके पास किसी भी इंफॉर्मेशन को हासिल करने के अलग अलग तरीके हैं। एक उनमें से ऑब्जर्वेशन है, आप चीजों को ऑब्जर्व करते हैं, बड़े गौर से देखते हैं कि ये फिनोमिनन ये कैसे हुआ, हाउ डिड दिस इंसिडेंट टेक प्लेस, व्हाई इट टुक प्लेस एंड थिंग्स लाइक दैट। ऑब्जर्वेशन इज अ कॉन्टिन्यूअस प्रोसेस, और हम ये नहीं कह सकते कि सिर्फ एक एपिसोड को, किसी एक इंसिडेंट को ऑब्जर्व करने के बाद हमारे पास इतना उसके ऊपर एक्सपीरियंस आ गया है कि अब हम उसकी जो कंक्लूजन्स हैं उनको बाकी चीजों के ऊपर अप्लाई कर सके। एक्सपीरियंस, मुझे अक्सर स्टूडेंट्स ये कहते हैं कि एज पेरेंट्स के सर हमें तो अभी पता ही कुछ नहीं है। आई डोंट एग्री विद यू बिकॉज यू आर ऑल mashallah graduates, postgraduates, some of you are doing MPhils, intelligent people, all of you, and especially जो हायर एजुकेशन में से जो लोग गुजरे होते हैं, आप उन thousands of लोग जो thousands of people who were with you in the school and then in the college, उनमें से बहुत चंद एक वो लोग हैं जो यहाँ तक पहुंचे हैं। एक्सपीरियंस आप अगर याद करें, किसी जमाने में देखें आइडियाज किस तरह से माइंड के अंदर गुडमुड होते थे, they were all mixed up, but some of them are now organized. So you do have some experience, but now it's the question of whether you are ready to admit, number one, recognize, number one, whether you have the experience or not. And the second thing is reflection. Reflection is what makes an experience worth remembering. We don't learn, John Dewey says that we don't learn from experiences, we learn from reflecting on the experience. देखिए, एक्सपीरियंस हर कोई कर रहा है, एक्सपीरियंस जो अनएजुकेटेड लोग हैं वो भी कर रहे हैं, और जो एक्सपीरियंस हर वक्त आ रहा है आपकी, मुसलसल रिसीव हो रहा है, लेकिन उसके ऊपर जो रिफ्लेक्ट करेगा अल्टीमेटली वो शख्स है जिसकी क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग डेवलप होगी। और ये लाजमी नहीं कि सिर्फ एजुकेटेड लोग ही करें, बेशुमार दफा देखा है हमने कि अनएजुकेटेड लोग हैं लेकिन वो सोचते हैं उसके ऊपर कि जो ये चीज हुई तो कैसे हुई, वाकया हुआ तो कैसे हुआ। सो आई वुड से दैट दिस इज नॉट जस्ट ये समझना कि चूंकि हम एजुकेटेड हैं इसलिए हम क्रिटिकल थिंकर्स भी हैं। ये एक थोड़ी assumption होगी जो कि मे बी रियलिटी बेस्ड नहीं है, एंड वी हैव टू separate education from critical thinking. So education of course does help us to be critical thinker, but then I would like to give credit to those people also who are not educated but they are very good at critical thinking. So it is the reflection. Why? Because those people have reflection. So ये एक ऐसा process है reflection जो the distinction between the educated and uneducated, it simply makes it disappear. More than reflection, after reflection, you do the reasoning. You try to apply the various processes. Why did it happen like this? Could it be like this also? Could it be like that also? और ये वो आपका बेसिकली एक्सपीरियंस को पर्सनलाइज करने का प्रोसेस है। देखिए, एक चीज क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग के अंदर सारी जो है वो याद रखने वाली है, दैट इट इज योर इंटरनल प्रोसेस। ये कोई एक्सटर्नल प्रोसेस नहीं है, ये आपने खुद करना है, कोई दूसरा आपको क्रिटिकल थिंकर बना नहीं सकता। क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग अल्टीमेटली आपका अपना एक्सपीरियंस है, आपने खुद सोचना है जो कोई दूसरा आपके दिमाग को ऑपरेट नहीं कर सकता। सो यू डू द रीजनिंग एंड देन यू अल्टीमेटली यू रिफ्लेक्ट, यू ऑब्जर्व, यू एक्सपीरियंस, यू रिफ्लेक्ट एंड देन डू द रीजनिंग, एंड देन यही काफी नहीं है, एंड देन द फाइनल स्टेप इन दिस सीरीज वुड बी कम्युनिकेशन। और यहाँ पे कम्युनिकेशन से मुराद है CSS ऐसे राइटिंग, कि आपने जिस तरह से सारी इंफॉर्मेशन हासिल की है। देखिए, ऐसे के अंदर जो असेस किया जा रहा है, जो एग्जामिन किया जा रहा है, वो क्या चीज है, वो क्या, ये तो नहीं सिर्फ कि आपने इंफॉर्मेशन हासिल की और आपने उसको कम्युनिकेट कर दिया। अब ये काफी सारी चीजों की क्वेश्चन का जो आंसर है, वो काफी सारे क्वेश्चंस का आंसर इसी चीज के अंदर मौजूद है कि बाद लोग ये समझते हैं कि ये जो ऊपर इंफॉर्मेशन लिखी हुई है वो हमने कम्युनिकेट कर दी तो बस हमारी ऐसे लिखी गई। नहीं, उस ऐसे के अंदर जो हम सर्च कर रहे हैं वो एक्चुअली ये बाकी सारे प्रोसेस हैं। हैव यू ऑब्जर्व्ड इट? हैव यू मेड द observation a part of your own experience? Experience again then is not enough. Have you reflected over it? Have you reasoned about it, that there could be various possibilities, and then you have communicated? So यहाँ पे आपको अब आके समझ आएगी कि बेसिकली ये इतना लार्ज नंबर ऑफ फेलियर जो है CSS essay का, वो किस वजह से है? वो इसलिए है कि मेजॉरिटी ऑफ द पीपल थिंक दैट essay writing is basically information crunching. No, information crunching is the other subjects. Say for example Pakistan affairs, like current affairs for example, जहां आप information को crunch करते हैं, information को process करते हैं, information को analyze करते हैं. CSS essay, of course, thesis essay, information required है, evidence required है, but again you cannot just write the information and get away with that. Not at all. Unless the information has gone through all these processes, the examiner is able to see whether you have applied all these, the information that you are conveying, whether it has gone through all these processes or not. और यहाँ पे वो जो the quantitative and qualitative analysis जो है आपकी information का, वो भी नजर आ रहा होता है. So the reflection, if you focus on it, reflection is not just reflection of what you have seen. Now it has become a part of your mind. Reflection is not just what you have seen, what you have observed, what you have experienced, but as it becomes a part of your mind, then you can move on to the next step. कि आपने उसके ऊपर reason किया, and that's when you personalize it. In this way, in its exemplary form, the critical thinking is based on universal intellectual values. Intellectual values हैं क्या? First of all is clarity. Intellectual value, first of all, is clarity. Are you clear about the concept? Are you clear about the issue? Or are you mixing it with so many other things? It must be accurate. Accuracy of information, accuracy of your thinking, what you are observing, या कि क्या उसके अंदर कोई आपने मार्जिन रखा हुआ है एरर का भी, कि अच्छा चलो ठीक है, हमें अगर पता चल गया इसके बारे में तो ठीक है, ना भी अगर पता चला तो हम थोड़ा सा आइडिया लगा के उसके बारे में बात, then that is not a universal intellectual value then. So precision, you cannot beat about the bush. Be precise, be relevant, और उसके अंदर कोई इधर उधर की चीजें जो हैं वो फिर उनको इन्फ्लुएंस ना करने दें अपने थिंकिंग प्रोसेस को. एंड देन कंसिस्टेंसी ऑल्सो, कि क्या आप कभी कभार क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग करते हैं या कंसिस्टेंटली क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग करते हैं. ये एक ऐसा दरवाजा है जो आप खोल के एक दफा आप चले गए उस दुनिया में क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग के, then you are a critical thinker for good. For the rest of your life, you're going to apply that mode. It's only then that you actually, applying consistency, that you actually become a critical thinker. Again, the problem of being relevant. आपने अक्सर देखा होगा लोगों के साथ बात करके, आपको उनको कहना पड़ता है भाई मेन बात की तरफ आए ना. अब वो बात तो कर रहे हैं, लेकिन आपको बार बार उनको कहना पड़ता है कि भाई ये पॉइंट डिस्कस नहीं हो रहा. आपने देखा होगा बहुत दफा ऐसे डिस्कशन फोरम के अंदर इस तरह की आउटलाइंस आती हैं कि जो रेलेवेंट नहीं है, वो टॉपिक कुछ और है, लेकिन चूंकि उस टॉपिक के ऊपर क्रिटिकली थिंक नहीं किया गया, उसको क्रिटिकली रीड नहीं किया गया, चनाचे इट बिकम्स इररेलेवेंट. एंड वंस इट बिकम्स इररेलेवेंट, इट इज ऑफ नो यूज ऑफ कोर्स. Then you have to see whether your information that you have gathered and all the critical thinking processes that you have applied on it, was it based on sound evidence, या महज किसी रिपोर्टर ने किसी से सुन के कोई खबर लगा दी तो आपने उसको, चूंकि आपको अच्छी लगी, आपको वो ओपिनियन जरा पसंद आया? That is not sound evidence. Therefore, your thinking process should have a depth. It should have a breadth. आप कितना डीपली उसको आपने, आमतौर पे ब्रेथ की मिसाल मैं यूं दिया करता हूं कि आई पर्सनली डू दिस दैट when there is some critical incident or event, like for example recently there was that airplane crash just before landing, तो उसकी जो details आ रही हैं, I will not read it from just one news source. I will go to various channels and they will shed different light on the incident. That is the breadth of. आप लोग यकीनन न्यूज़पेपर्स पढ़ते हैं आजकल, तमाम CSS aspirants जो हैं, they keep themselves updated. But if there are some major issues, then do not limit yourself to just one opinion or one source of excuse me. And then the most important of all, the fairness. No prejudice, no presumptions, no bias. Everything that you're observing has to be done. Fairness में अब आएगा ना कि अब question आपका आएगा, am I thinking like this because I'm a Pakistani? Am I thinking like this because I'm a Muslim? Am I thinking like this because I belong to a certain sect or a certain linguistic background or from a certain political background, or because of my certain educational, cultural biases? So I have to keep all of these aside if I have to think fairly. So these are the universal intellectual values. ये सिर्फ CSS ऐसे के ऊपर ही नहीं, ये तमाम जगह जहाँ पे thinking है, जहाँ पे thinking process होगा, जहाँ पे critical thinking की जाएगी, वहाँ पे these 7 values are always upheld. Moving on, let's apply some of them to the CSS essay topics, some of these methods. For example, polarized politics, the issues and challenges of democracy in Pakistan. अब यहाँ पे हमारे बहुत से स्टूडेंट्स के साथ ये हुआ कि the moment they saw democracy of Pakistan, challenges of democracy in Pakistan, तो वो समझे कि ये टॉपिक क्या है, issues and challenges of democracy. Democracy के ऊपर टॉपिक आ गया, ऐसे आ गई. Since a large number of our aspirants they think that they should have some ready-made material with them, which gives them some substance to write in the essay. So people have ready-made material on democracy in Pakistan. They try to fit that into this topic. जबकि topic तो ये है ही नहीं ना, basically. We are not talking about challenges of democracy. Our topic is, the frame of reference is polarized politics. ठीक है, we are talking about the issues and challenges, but with reference to what? That frame of reference is polarized politics. That in Pakistan, politics has become too much polarized. These are, one is on this side, the other is completely on this. One is totally white, totally black. There is no gray area. The other is totally black. So things are so distinct, so polarized, that there is no way that these two parties are going to sit together and come to a consensus in the national interest. ये है basically topic इसके ऊपर. We are now I am applying these critical thinking skills on the topic. Is Pakistan ready for digital revolution? इस दफा बड़ा important था ये digital revolution के ऊपर, तो हमने बहुत सारा material इकट्ठा किया था. तो अब डिजिटल रेवोल्यूशन की जो वैल्यू है, उसके जो फायदे हैं, उसके जो नुकसानात हैं, the positive side, the negative side, and different aspects, we will write about that. It's an argumentative essay. the first one was, of course, expository. The second one here is the argumentative. Whether you agree with this or not, is Pakistan ready? So it's not about just digital revolution, it's the readiness of Pakistan. जिसका मतलब ये है कि if any country has to be ready for the digital revolution, there have to be certain prerequisites. The country must have achieved certain steps, without which a digital revolution is not possible. Has Pakistan achieved that? Topic ये है. Whereas majority जो थी वो इस topic को क्या समझी थी? Democracy and illiteracy do not move together. 2019 do not move together. तो फिर ये पाकिस्तान में जो illiteracy है और ये democracy है, तो ये फिर किस तरह से सारा कुछ इकट्ठा चल रहा है? चल भी तो नहीं ना रहा. क्या चल रहा है? Democracy has taken a shape which we do not recognize as democracy. Reason, high rate of illiteracy. So this means that when illiteracy is cured, automatically the democracy is going to take its proper shape. और इसको reverse कर ले सारी situation को, that when there is democracy, it automatically focuses on removing illiteracy. That is usually among the first targets of democracy, that to remove illiteracy so that the people can make better political choices. Do not move together. So इस तरह से टॉपिक को इंटरप्रेट करना था. ये वो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग स्किल्स थी, वो सारी जो ट्रेनिंग जो पीछे इंफॉर्मेशन को हम लेके आए थे, उस सब को अब हमने फोकस करना है, इस टॉपिक के ऊपर हमने अप्लाई करना है. एक्सपैंडिंग इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी, a curse or blessing. There should be a colon here instead of semicolon. अब ये इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी ICT के ऊपर है और a curse or blessing. Of course, it's an argumentative topic, whether you think it's a curse or it's a blessing. And people started writing about it. But there is another dimension. Each and every word in a topic is important. There is another dimension to it, and that is expanding. It goes two ways. Expanding को अगर मैं analyze करूं, तो एक तो ये है कि right now the information technology is expanding. Obviously, it is expanding. Is this a curse or blessing? The second one is that expanding information, that if we expand information technology, do you think it would be a curse or a blessing? It can be interpreted both ways. Both ways are correct. It's not a question of right or wrong. There is no such thing as right or wrong. It's only a question of being relevant or not relevant. And that's all. Very, very often people ask, is this correct? It is the essay writer who can prove anything to be correct or incorrect by reasoning, by the critical thinking, by applying the critical thinking models and methods. So that's why often when people ask me, is this correct, sir? If it is relevant, it's correct. If you're not being relevant, if you're not being accurate, then everything is incorrect, of course. Too many of us are not living our dreams because we are living our fears. 2018. अब आप जरा देखें कि जिस CSS essay को आप समझते थे कि ये तो बस वो मुख्तलिफ तरफ से मुख्तलिफ सोर्सेज से इंफॉर्मेशन इकट्ठी करनी होती है और उसके ऊपर जो है सब इकट्ठा करके उसके ऊपर आर्टिकल जो ऐसे जो है वो लिख देनी है. दिस इज टर्निंग आउट टू बी समथिंग वेरी डिफरेंट. और इसीलिए मैंने कोई ऐसे टॉपिक्स नहीं लिए अपने पास से बना के. यू मे से कि ये तो, बट दीज आर ऑथेंटिक टॉपिक्स. ये आपका पेपर आपके सामने बोल रहा है. एंड आई एम ट्राइंग टू इंटरप्रेट दीज टॉपिक्स इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू अकॉर्डिंग टू दी discussion of the critical thinking skills that I have already done with you, the process. So too many of us are living our dream, not living our dreams. हम में से बहुत थोड़े लोग हैं जो अपनी ड्रीम की जिंदगी गुजार रहे हैं, बाकी सब तो फियर्स की. और फियर क्या है? सर्वाइवल. फियर ऑफ सर्वाइवल, फियर ऑफ डाइंग आउट, the fear of self-propagation and self-preservation, the basic human instincts. we are basically trying to live lives of fears rather than our dreams, too many of us. So it discusses this thing. It can be taken into the argumentative style also. Or will rule of law always remain an impracticable myth in our country? 2018. Again, a question. Of course, it is yes or no argumentative topic. Now, rule of law always remain a myth. Okay, we take it as a myth, but impracticable myth. It is going to be impracticable and myth also. So this means that the topic goes deeper into the topic, into discussion. It's not just whether rule of law is successful or not. No, it has termed rule of law, the absence of rule of law in Pakistan, as a myth, and that also a myth which is not practicable. So this means that the topic is not just that shallow topic which initially it looks like. It goes into the depth, and you need a lot of breadth also for that. Is colonial mentality impeding Pakistan's progress? They asked civil servant, the CSS aspirants in 2017. Colonial mentality. First of all, you need to analyze, define what is colonial mentality, and then what's its role. Now, there is a particular, this is also argumentative, that there is a particular aspect which is being discussed. We are not talking about the role of colonial mentality in Pakistan or in Pakistan's progress. No, there is a particular aspect or a perspective from which this needs to be seen, and that is impeding the colonial mentality as an impediment in Pakistan's progress. Whether you agree with this or not, that is the question, and that is how you are going to deal with this topic. Feminism is not really a third world issue. It's not. The topic is not feminism is not a third world issue. जाहिर argumentative है, but really add किया गया है बकायदा उसके साथ, जिसके अंदर अब ये एक पर्सपेक्टिव आ गया है कि थर्ड वर्ल्ड का इशू वाकई में नहीं है, क्या इसको बनाया गया है या वाकई में इशू है, या एंटायरली इसका सिरे से कोई ताल्लुक ही नहीं थर्ड वर्ल्ड के साथ. So there are various aspects. It's only when you think critically that you can dig deep into that. बहुत से लोग ये पूछते हैं कि सर ये तो बड़ा इस तरह तो हम टॉपिक को करने लगे तो बड़ा टाइम लग जाएगा एग्जामिनेशन के अंदर. भाई बड़ा सिंपल सी बात है कि आपने क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग पहली दफा जाके एग्जामिनेशन में नहीं अप्लाई करनी. आप आज सुन रहे हैं, ये चीजें आपके माइंड में अगर बैठ रही हैं तो you have started thinking about this. During the process of this discussion, there is a change going on within yourself. You have started looking at things कि भाई ये तो इस तरह से तो नहीं है, ये तो कुछ मजीद इसके अंदर शामिल है. जैसे शुरू में मैंने आपको चीज बता दी कि आपके पास इसके मोड्स हैं, इसका मेथड प्रोसेस बड़ा सिंपल है, and that is observation going into experience, and experience becomes part of yourself only through reflection. And when you reflect on it, you do the reasoning also. And once you have done this, you communicate it to the others. So now we are, during this process of discussion, we are learning the process, the method also. Something which I will reiterate what I said in the beginning, that it's all within your own mind. You are alone in critical thinking. You are doing it yourself. It's internal. You're looking at yourself. You're not looking at something else. It's an internal process. It's not external. Yes, when you have done it and now you want to communicate, then it becomes external. But the initial working is all internal. बहुत दफा स्टूडेंट्स से मुझे पूछते हैं क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग के बारे में, और मैं उनको बताता हूं कि ये आपका इंटरनल प्रोसेस है. अक्सर लोगों को नहीं समझ आती. ये सोचना कि मैं अकेला होके सोचूं इस चीज के बारे में, then they realize कि this is what has been missing. We have been looking for the answers outside, whereas the answers are within. मोड्स ऑफ क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग के अंदर क्या चीजें आती हैं? इट इज बीइंग रिस्पॉन्सिव टू वेरिएबल सब्जेक्ट मैटर या इश्यूज एंड पर्पसेस, and it is incorporated in a family of interwoven modes of thinking. Family of interwoven modes of thinking. Critical thinking के modes क्या हैं? क्या क्या तरीके हैं जिस तरीके से हम जब thinking कर रहे होते हैं तो actually वो critical thinking चल रही होती है. One is the scientific thinking. When we are doing scientific thinking, scientific is actually critical thinking, or historical thinking. When we are analyzing history, so we are applying certain models of the present time to history. Then there is anthropological thinking. How did this society evolve? What influences worked on it? Which influences were absent? Which played a more significant role? Then there is the economic thinking. Thinking in economic terms. What were the effects of certain decisions and actions taken by past governments in and on economy? Or how does economy shape politics or get influenced by that? And how does economy shape society or gets influenced by that? Moral thinking. अगर आप गौर से देखें तो ये आपको इसके अंदर वो जी पेस्ट वाली एक रिफ्लेक्शन जो है वो सारी नजर आ रही होगी कि किस तरह से गवर्नेंस, जी पेस्ट, गवर्नेंस, पॉलिटिकल, इकोनॉमिक, सोशल, टेक्निकल, all those things are actually ways of thinking, and that is why these models of thinking very much reflect those. And then there is the ethics also, morals also, and philosophical thinking. So these are, when you're thinking like this, you're actually engaging the modes of critical thinking. So it's in reflection, I always emphasize, I ask students that why reflection is a little bit, what should I say, intriguing, because sometimes it becomes difficult to differentiate between the real and the reflection. Which one of them is the reality? We have to learn to be our best friends, because we fall too easily into the trap of being our own worst enemies. It's not my quotation, it's your CSS 2016 question. It's a essay topic. So see how your internal thinking is now being reflected. It needs to be communicated now in the form of an essay. I think this is the best example how your process of critical thinking, how your whatever you have achieved through the critical thinking is actually being assessed, questioned, and you are being invited to do that communication now through such topics in CSS. The elements of thought which are involved in critical thinking, the examination of those structures, and or elements of thought implicit in all reasoning. Elements of thought, कोई इसलिए अब ये ना समझें कि critical thinking के लिए हमें कोई बड़ी अलग किस्म की thinking करनी पड़ेगी, कोई बड़ा अलग किस्म का दिमाग चाहिए, बड़ी अलग किस्म की education चाहिए. It's not like that. It's all already with you. First of all, in reasoning, you have to find out what is the purpose, problem or question at issue. Focus करें ना, analyze करें कि actual problem यहाँ पे हो क्या है. जैसे topic के अंदर मैंने आपको बताया कि काफी सारे words हैं topic के अंदर, or sometimes they are misleading, that it is maybe it is about challenges of democracy in Pakistan. It's not about that. It's about polarized politics basically. उस frame of reference के अंदर अगर आप discuss करेंगे, then it is relevant, otherwise it would not be. Then assumptions. जो चीजें हमने अपने जहन में जिन चीजों का कंट्रोल करना है, हमारी कुछ assumptions हैं. हमारे political bias, for example, अगर हम एक पार्टी की तरफ इंक्लाइंड हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमें दूसरी पार्टी का हर स्टेप ही गलत लग रहा है। किसी भी पार्टी जिसको हम मुखालफत कर रहे हैं उसकी हर चीज जो है वो, so those are our assumptions and then concepts. Sometimes our concepts are not clear. Sometimes we conceive something to be, जैसे एक टॉपिक था CSS probably 2017 या 2019 का, we do not see what we see. ये क्या है? ये assumptions हैं, हमारे concepts हैं जो clear नहीं है, था कुछ और, हमें नजर कुछ और आया, and then you do this reasoning. आपने इसके अंदर जो elements of thought इसके अंदर जो आती है उसके अंदर then you do such reasoning which leads to certain conclusions. हम सिर्फ और सिर्फ अब thinking में नहीं ना रह सकते. It is not possible कि हम हर वक्त उसके ऊपर हम उसको analysis और thinking के अंदर हैं. We have to have some conclusions also, और जिसके थ्रू हम साबित कर सकें कि this process has certain, या this phenomenon has certain implications and consequences. Actually ऐसे के अंदर आप डिस्कस क्या करते हैं? आपने assumptions और concepts नहीं करने, आपने conclusions अपने जो हैं वो express करने होते हैं जो reasoning के थ्रू आए हैं, और फिर उसकी implications आप डिस्कस करते हैं, causes क्या हैं, आप consequences क्या हैं, उसके effects क्या हैं, and then objections from alternative viewpoints. आपने argue करते वक्त ये भी करना है कि alternative दूसरे लोग इसके बारे में कैसे सोचते हैं. आप सिर्फ अपना थीसिस मुसलसल रिपीट नहीं करते रहते जब तक एंटीथीसिस नहीं है. बाज लोग समझते हैं कि सिर्फ थीसिस को कह देना ही सिर्फ जो है वो काफी है. भाई थीसिस है क्या? थीसिस तो एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करता जब तक एंटीथीसिस नहीं होगा. There is no such thing as thesis. Things only can exist in dialectic, in argumentation. So thesis उस वक्त होगा जब antithesis होगा, and then it will lead to synthesis. So, और frame of reference कि basically वो जो main objective जो है, मसलन promoting tourism in Pakistan, the prospects and challenges, तो ये बात सिर्फ tourism in Pakistan की बात नहीं हो रही, बात prospects की हो रही है, अब इसकी promotion की हो रही है. promotion की prospects क्या है? हमारे बहुत से लोग इस SAS इस तरह से लिखा है कि जैसे मतलब it is about tourism in Pakistan. It's not. It is about promotion of tourism. What are the prospects of that? What are the, so ये frame of reference उस topic के अंदर मौजूद होता है, लेकिन इसका पता होना अब mind को जैसे जैसे ये सारी चीजें मैंने आपके सामने लेके आया हूँ, now you have started thinking how closely the mind needs to interact with your topic. Again, the process of reflection. Learn to see or differentiate the reality from your construction of the reality, which is your reflection. बहुत सी तो हमारी सोच जो है वो रिकंस्ट्रक्शन है ना. जब हम कोई इंसिडेंट पढ़ते हैं न्यूज़पेपर में, तो क्या वो इंसिडेंट है? नहीं. That incident took place at a time and ended. Now what we are reading in the newspaper is a reflection. Have you thought about this? So this means that you are basically looking at a reflection which you take for reality. This is the basic problem, which if you do not apply critical thinking, it becomes difficult to differentiate which one is reality, which one is reflection. It's time to reflect. For example, gender equality is a myth, CSS 2016. अब बंदा सोचता है इसके ऊपर, रिफ्लेक्शन की अब आपको आदत डालनी पड़ेगी. Gender equality is a myth. Myth, mythology. Mythology से मुराद क्या है? Mythology एक ऐसी पूरी imaginative whole universe. Sometimes religious mythology, like the Hindu mythology, for example, or the previous Greek mythology, not necessarily religious. But then the whole thing is a construction in imagination. So is gender equality also such a thing that we have constructed in our minds? Is it a myth only, or is it a reality? If it's a reality, then so it's an argumentative topic, and you discuss its various dimensions. It is only through while you have gone through whatever I have discussed today in this video that you realize that how critical thinking it beautifully prepares you to face these myths, these questions, which sometimes are so mind-boggling that people have appeared in the exams and they keep on thinking about them for the rest of the years. What did it mean? What did that topic mean? Until they read its description somewhere else and they think that it was like that. But since they do not have the critical thinking tools ready with them, which I have mentioned in this video, that's why they keep on depending on others to interpret them. Sadly, that process does not take them too far. So once again, it's the question of what you see. Do you see what you see? Do we see what we see? Or is it just a reflection of what we think we are seeing? I will end this discussion today with this image that it's all happening, all these influences are in your brain, are on your brain, on your thinking. Ultimately, what is going to change through critical thinking, improve through critical thinking, is your brain. Each and every individual involved in critical thinking is basically developing his own thinking style, thinking skills, and success in thinking. Thank you. I would welcome the comments, questions, queries in the comment section. I would like to answer them also. Thank you. And that's all for this video.